It's the longest set of fountains in the whole world. So you can't talk about the Palace of Parliament without talking about the dictator, Nicolae Ceausescu. Okay, Old Town at night. Cheers from Bucharest. Hello from Bucharest, Romania. So my hotel, or my apartment, is located on Victoria Avenue, which is also known as the Little Paris of Eastern Europe. Or at least it used to be known as that, probably before the communism came here. Ataturk. Surprisingly, there's a statue of Ataturk from Turkey. So here we have the CEC Bank. It's the oldest bank in Romania. I think established 1881. It's not used as a bank for clients anymore, but it is still the banking headquarters. And then across the road, the National History Museum, which is closed today. So the museums are closed on Tuesdays here as well as Monday. It's a beautiful building. Both of them are really beautiful. So I'm now in the Chishmaku Gardens. It's about a 10-minute walk from my hotel in Victory Avenue. You see they have the little boats, the little pedaling boats on the other side. It doesn't look too enticing, to be honest. I suppose just a little escape, isn't it? A bit of nature. I think there's plenty of these places around the city. I'm mocha Irish. I bet there's still no alcohol in it. There's no whiskey in it. No way, you're not out of a machine. So as you exit the park, you'll find Bucharest City Hall. Another beautiful building. Huge. It's time for a coffee. I like the name, I like the sign. So I got an iced latte. It was 12 Romanian lei, which is €2.45. Still cheaper than home. Not as cheap as Turkey or Bulgaria. Another beautiful building, that's just a college. I'm walking over the Dambavita River. This river was the main source of water for the people of Bucharest until the 18th century. And also until the 18th century, it caused some major floods in the city. Eventually they built a branch canal to stop the flooding. So no problem since then, I don't think. Another park. So as I'm walking up through this park, I see this huge building in front of me. It's the Palace of Parliament. It's absolutely massive. And I thought to myself, why is there such an ugly park facing the Palace of Parliament? But it turns out that's just the side of it. Very interesting history to this building, which I'll explain now in a couple of minutes. So today, the Palace of Parliament houses the Chamber of Deputies and the Senate. Also, there's a few museums in there as well. I know to go inside you need a tour. You have to have a pre-book a tour. It's like going up to Buckingham Palace or something. Now, I'm gonna go around the front. I've been walking for over 10 minutes and I'm still not near the front of the place. It's huge. Should have got a taxi. It's a gorgeous little Orthodox church just here. Out by the gate. Inside further you see the big huge one that's under construction. This walk is so long, I'm going to take this opportunity just to show you the type of apartments people live in here in Bucharest. So just... So they look pretty typical for what I've seen so far. Now 20 minutes. 20 minutes and I'm not even halfway around it. So this is the back of the building. You see the back door there? So for when the next revolution happens, this is where all the senators and all can escape out the back before they hang them. Or shoot them dead. And from what I hear, they probably deserve it. So you can't talk about the Palace of Parliament without talking about the dictator, Nicolae Ceausescu. He was the dictator here for like 30 odd years until 1989 when there was a anti-communist revolution here. So they arrested him, they overthrew the capital, they arrested him and they shot him dead on Christmas Day. But the story behind this building, he basically built this and a bunch of other monstrosities around the city while the people were starving, just to show the rest of the world like the great socialist Republic of Romania's wealth and power. So it was all about boasting. It's a ridiculous, huge building. It's the second biggest administrative building in the world after the Pentagon. It's also the heaviest building in the world, weighing something like 4 million tons. Some people will say that even today there's still a lot of corrupt leadership in this country. I remember a couple of years ago there was a lot of protests here and I believe they were close to another revolution. I need to talk to some locals to figure out what's happening today though. I just got here, I haven't really met anyone yet. Maybe tonight when I go out for a couple of pints. I'm still a bit confused about the whole driving on the right side of the road. I end up walking into get myself into stupid situations like this. Here we go. Here we go. It has to be said, first impressions of the city are fantastic. It's really nice. It's way nicer than what I was expecting. It's very, I know I use this word a lot, but it's very laid back and chill. People are, no one's annoying me. It's the longest set of fountains in the whole world. It's 1.4 kilometers long, so like about a mile. And it has 24 separate fountain wells. Loads like this one here, you see the small one? Going right up the street. And later on, it's going to be all lit up. It's a fountain show, like the Bellagio in Las Vegas. So I'll come back for that. This is Union Boulevard. I'm going to the old town now, so I need a bit of grub. Ideally, I'll find a place where I can get a nice pint and some Romanian food. Very nice. Stavropolis Monastery and Church, since 1724, rebuilt in the 1900s after an earthquake. Stunning. Look at all this architecture in this whole area.
Nice building, yeah?
Beautiful, isn't it? Little back streets of Old Town here. The Drunken Lords. Great name for a pub. Oh yeah, right in the heart of it here. Dracula's medieval feast. Maybe later. Kilkenny Irish pub. Work is the curse of the drinking class. Is that Brendan Behan? Or is that Oscar Wilde? Anyways, it's a good one. Kilkenny Irish pub in Bucharest. I thought I'd stop in for a bit of grub. I got myself a pint and some local beef soup. So I'm definitely doing something Romanian. He told me this was the most traditional one they have here. Very, very nice. It's got a lot of the ingredients of an Irish stew. Tomato, carrots, peas, onion, potato and beef. Except it'd be Irish, I suppose, if it was lamb. The stew has more of a tomato flavour to it. And that looks like soda bread. So yeah, it's a bit of Irish mix in there as well. I was wondering when I'd see some Roma gypsies. And now there's one young flip and he's singing Ed Sheeran. Which is just perfect. It's quite an interesting history here in the old town of Bucharest. Like a lot of these structures have been standing since the 15th and 16th century. In World War II, it survived the bombings from the Americans and the Brits in April of 1944. And then again in August of 1944, when Romania changed sides after the fall of the fascist regime, the Germans then bombed Bucharest. And this whole area just withstood it all. So it's been through a lot. And then, to make it even more interesting, during the communist dictatorship, when they basically razed like a quarter of the city, they knocked down loads of the city and started rebuilding it. They left this area because this area at the time was just not a very central, or it was a slum basically, and they just ignored it for whatever reason. So it survived a lot, and now it's this like really up and coming, buzzing area full of busy pubs. So there's probably more money being spent in this area than there is in the rest of Romania, if you think about it. Jeez. So far, if you're watching the video, what do you think? Is Bucharest, does it look like you expected it to, or is it very different? Or do you think I'm giving a false impression of the place? Let me know in the comments. I will respond. Just don't call me names. I treat myself, it's been a while. I'm looking for a market where I can get a couple of cans or bottles of beer before I go down to enjoy their fountain display. Okay, sorted. Another little park leading up to the Union fountains, or the Bucharest fountains. You see the lights are already on. I found a little spot where it might be safe to put the drone up. as I was flying the drone. I think I got about 50 mosquito bites all over my legs. I knew they were all over me, but I was focused on the remote for the drone. I couldn't do anything about it. So in that drone shot, when you see the fountain in the distance, the bright building, that's the Palace of Parliament where I was earlier on. For me, this is the best thing you can do in Bucharest. I mean, I've just been here for the day, but the fountain here, it's beautiful. So this is one of those moments when I put the earphones on and listen to some nice music. Listen to Andre Bocelli now. Sometimes Pavarotti, sometimes Hans Zimmer, but nice classical music. Cheers from Bucharest. Lastly, a bit of the night action in Bucharest.
Yes.
Yeah, hey, how are you? Okay, Old Town at night. Would you pay to go into the strippers when you have that just down the road for free?